Guys, give it up for the cast from Lord of the Rings of Power. Little thing we do.
Help us up. Jet lag over.
Yeah, we like to catch people off guard.
Hey, it's a long day for all of us. We're
Thanks for the wake up,
we're all
though.
battling.
We needed that.
Yeah. Guys, I remember meeting a lot of you guys 2 years ago when you were here for season 1. I love that we're all back for a reunion 2 years later, but now we've seen the series because there was so much excitement, probably a little nervousness over how people were going to react to it. People reacted very kindly and strongly to this series. But before we talk about the series, look back at that experience 2 years ago. You know, you guys were all here, like introducing this series to the world. What was? How do you look back? It must have been a whirlwind. How do you look back at that experience now?
It was a first for many of us. In just so many, I think it was a first for all of us. Like there was nothing like that. There's not many shows that travel you in that way or that put up like such an introduction. But I think maybe speak for all of us. We had such a bonding and important experience of our lives shooting the show, just by the sheer size, but also we shot it through COVID. So like we became this community that, and a lot of us never shared any scenes. We've never done anything together, for example. So we know each other as friends and as people. So to see us in our element and to see this dream realized was just like fantastic to be with your community.
And to see the show as well when it actually came out, because we didn't really know anything. We haven't watched all the episodes, and to see us kind of bond as friends and then see everyone's work was a really beautiful experience.
Yeah, millions tuned in. It became, I think, instantly Prime Video's like most viewed show. What have been sort of like your favorite responses that you've gotten to this series thus far, or most surprising?
There's been some pretty sick fan theories. I love going on Reddit and reading the threads. Some people come up with some really cool stuff. Like some of I know they're wrong, but it's really cool.
But it's entertaining at the same time.
Yeah.
My claim to that fame is that I was teed up in episode 7, Deesa's scene. In season 1, I was teed up for Sauron. Is she Sauron? Is she?
That was
I was so happy with that. I was so excited. It's not me. It's not me.
Yep. Yeah, that was obviously a huge component of the fun of season 1. Is who that mystery, looking at every single character. Maybe not every single character, but there were some contenders. You guys knew all along.
No.
We did not.
We had bets, and I was right the entire time.
You were right.
I don't even think Charlie didn't even know he was
I
playing.
I knew
Sauron.
before he did.
Really?
Yeah, he was playing Halbrand, and he was like, I don't really know what is who is my character.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get backstory, and they were like, so you were kind of from this lineage, and it was very kind of long-winded, and then turned out.
Yeah.
He was Sauron.
Did you guys have like a pool on the cast? Were you guys betting on who was Sauron? You said you were right.
I think we all kind of
Did
knew
you
it
all-
was going to be Charlie,
We were, like,
except for him. He was like, it's not me.
Yeah.
For a while, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We didn't put money on it, which in hindsight, it's
We should have.
very
We should
dumb.
have. You could have made some good money.
A lot of good money, but it was. But we had our theories about a lot of stuff. At one point, the thing like early on, they were like, "Are you Sauron?" Because like my character was like, "What?" Like we didn't have scripts either. It's like the character, I didn't know who he was, so there was like a possibility, but I always knew that it was homeboy Halbrand.
Yeah. Can you guys each tease a little bit about where we're gonna find your characters in season 2 and sort of how it plays into the bigger picture?
In a tree.
Okay, that sounds like
Nice and cryptic.
yeah. It's in character.
Isildur
that.
is sort of abandoned in Middle Earth, and he has to fight for his survival. And I think he is, thrown in the wild, and it's desperate and muddy.
The mud.
Deesa has lost her gift, lost her, I guess, her instinct and her voice, so to speak. And so she is having to somehow scramble and channel everything else that's within her to kind of sense what's happening. And she can feel the rumble in the caves in the mountain to which some things pop out.
I gotta tell you, Deesa and Durin, freaking adorable. I'm just gonna
Thank
tell
you.
you, freaking adorable.
Thank you.
So we find ourselves in a conundrum and a pivot in our lives and our relationship.
You're kind of like a stepdad figure almost, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's that it calls for a few different family relationships between us. I think it's stepdad. I think sometimes it's older brother. I think I say this sometimes, like I feel like Arondir is also kind of a teenager in a certain sense, like in terms of the age of elves and what they feel and what they're coming to terms with. And I think in that way, that's why perhaps he clashes with Theo, because they're really trying to process so much, so many new emotions, so many new realities, so many new relationships. And I think there is this butt-heading, but eventually I think Arondir always resorts to being a parental figure.
I'll tell you what I love about Theo. It's like we're in Middle Earth. It's like this fantastical world, creatures, these characters out of a novel, and then there's Theo, who's just like Dennis the Menace, but it works, but it works. How much fun is that to play on set?
Theo, I love playing Theo because he's literally the complete opposite of me. Like, I don't do confrontation. I will not yell at anyone because I don't know. I don't. But Theo will have a go at anyone. Like, if he feels he's been, done wrong, he will get at you. And so it's like, it's kind of cool. Like, I kind of can just forget who I am for a second and become the complete opposite. And as an actor, that's just like the most fun thing you can do is just be completely not you. But yeah, he's a fun kid, pretty impulsive and stupid, but I feel like he'll learn, maybe, probably not, but we'll see.
Can you guys speak a little, like, generally on how season 2 is gonna, move the mythology forward, or maybe depart from what we saw in season 1? Can you sort of tease it overall for us? Like, what's gonna surprise people about season 2?
I think we leave season 1, or rather season 1. There is there's questions. What is this darkness? There's something looming over the land. It gets more and more present, and then suddenly it's like there's a baddie. It's Sauron, But there's a nice undercurrent of hope. I think in season 1, and of like coming together and getting together for this one goal. But at season 2, just like drops us in. No, Sauron is here. And things have happened, and darkness is over the land, and it's more about survival and where do you fit in this doom, and how do you make it, and what is your role in it. So I think that's where like the general feeling. It's a little bit hard to answer this question because it is so well weaved and intertwined that any little keyword that we give you can give you a big like chunk of the journey. I feel because it's so well.
But rings
weaved
get
in.
made.
There's a few rings. And there's a Lord.
Those rings are getting made, and in the bridges being gapped too, like with Sauron, with the stranger. Like we know where that guy's heading. I'm curious. I mean, we think we do.
Exactly.
Pretty positive we do.
That's the key word.
We think we do. Have you guys interacted with anyone from the film series at all? Is that bridge been gapped at all?
Yeah.
Who do you hang out with?
Orlando.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Bloom.
You trade some battle
It
stories.
was great, man. It was great. 'Cause, there was like this whole thing of like that, all that noise about the character and whatnot, and the speculation of like how they would feel. And I'd never met any of them, and I admired, trilogy so much, and Legolas I really loved. And I just went into this party one day, and again I knew nothing of where they stood about our series, and I just went in and like just straight shot down. I opened the door and it was Orlando Bloom, and he looks at me and he's like, "Brother!" Just like that. And just we started talking. He essentially was like gave me his blessing. He's like, "You're doing freaking great. This is working awesome." We had a very nice bonding moment, and we took a selfie that later he posted and said that like melon, So it was beautiful.
I love that. Maxim, I hope you get to meet your descendant someday, Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, I wonder what he'd say. That's I have such respect for Viggo and the way he kind of took Aragorn and made it such a I mean, I think that's that character. Yeah, he's just kind of transcended all the generations of Tolkien fans. So there's a lot of expectation, and I felt the weight of that playing someone who's related to Viggo.
Yeah. Guys, well, excellent work thus far. Can't wait to see where season 2 goes. Thanks for coming by and saying hello to us.
Thank you so
Once
much.
again, the cast of Rings of Power, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Woo!